people's unusual food combinations next. And welcome to our Foodcast, everybody. My name is Vision, and welcome to our Foodcast, along with my amazing co-host of all time, Mr.
Mr. I can explain. Mr. That guy.
Mister.
Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy, Mr. Dirk Mason.
Mr.
Mr. Mason.
Yes, everybody. So, guys, I apologize for the extreme delay. Okay, I was having technical issues, and plus the internet here was very slow. So, yeah. So, hopefully everybody can hear me. But welcome to our foodcast, everybody. You guys, we have a great show planned for you today. Okay, and do you remember, Mason, when we talked about food combinations that could just stay or go?
Yeah.
So, and we also did talk about weird food combinations in general, too. Well, today, many of us have weird food combinations when it comes to mixing foods together on a plate or in a bowl. Okay, many of us have that. Okay, for example, I like mixing uh, Mexican rice, refried beans, ground beef, and cheese together and eating it all. And sometimes I'll even put chili on in it too, and I'll eat it.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes I like to mix. Let me see what else would I like to mix together. Well, broccoli and cheese is one, and then of course you have your sour cream, and cream cheeses and stuff. But yeah, what foods do you like to mix together, Lisa?
I know one of them I like to mix together, and I mean it's kind of just me, but I like to mix hot pockets well, not hot pockets, pizza rolls with barbecue sauce.
Yeah,
I
see,
don't
so
know why, but that is just something that slaps.
yes, that slops, that slops,
Slops. You know
slops.
what's my other favorite combination?
Mm-hmm,
Whenever I get Domino's pan pizza, I'm
mm-hmm.
like, you know what? I'm craving just extra cheese and black olives, and that's it.
Oh yeah.
It has to be pan made, and it black olives, extra black olives, and extra cheese.
So you guys just sure, just I'm sorry, I have to. I just need to let this out. Okay, I'm just gonna let this out this one time. He likes him black. He likes him, and
You tell him 29. You tell me 29.
he
You're
likes
on a
him
short.
in.
You're on a short fuse with Miss Nippers. Tell him 29.
But yes, you guys, there is a term.
Oh, it's a little too loud. I want to turn it down. There we
Oh,
go.
I'm sorry. Louder? Okay.
Louder! Louder! It's right. Twilight knows your ears being blown out.
Oh, I bet she does. But
No,
yes,
hit the computer.
there is a term for this. It is called Foodamixaphobia. We're gonna actually talk about it today. There's a term called Foodamixaphobia. Okay. Now I'm going to pull up the article now that I finally got it working here. Yes, I got it working. So um, we're gonna go ahead and pull up the article here. Let's go ahead and start with the musica.
Right.
And we're going to go to present, and then we're going to go to share screen. Share screen? Yeah, share screen. Okay. And then we're going to go to um, these are okay. All right, so we want to go here. Right, and we're going to start to share the screen. And there we go. Finally, we got it working. Okay, so um,
Okay, there we go. Here.
how do
The
I?
little
How?
go to. You see the little X right there next to where it says subscribe in the middle of subscribe and sign in. Right. Up. Up. Left. Left. Up. Right.
Oh, right here.
There. There you go.
Okay. So how do I?
And then scroll down.
Oh, let me go back to the screen. Let me go back to the main screen. Hold on. Let me go back
Okay.
to the main.
Hey, what's up, Krakadonna? What's up?
Krakadonna is here. Hello, Krakadonna. How are you, man? Thank you so much for joining us today. All right. So, we are going to be talking about something called Foodamixaphobia. Okay, it is a thing, and um, we're gonna. Let's see. Which format do we want? Which format do you like better, sir?
I like the one where we're on the sides, so we can read the. Yeah, that's good.
All right, right there. Okay, so let's go back to the article that we were sharing, which is which one was it? How do I go back?
You click on your tab to where your screen sharing.
Which one was it? Oh, the tab, right?
Yeah.
Is it somebody in here? Oh, okay. Um, this. No, 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 no,
No.
no, no. I'm sorry. I closed it. Hold on. Go back here. Okay, there we go. All right, we were looking at. Was it this one?
Yeah, Columbia Daily Tribune. Where it says Columbia Daily Tribune, I believe.
These are famous people. Okay, this one right here. This last one. Let's take a look at this one. Was it this one?
Yes, yes.
Okay, all right. So, Columbia Tribune, okay, there is a term, and if my assistant will be kind enough to read it.
Foodamixaphobia, or the
Hmm.
weird eating habits that we keep with us.
Yes,
Over
exactly.
the
So,
over yeah, right. Go ahead.
so just to kind of summarize everything, Foodamixaphobia is for the weird eating habits that keep within us. It basically means, and I hope I'm correct, because I'm going to do this by me being a know-it-all for a little bit. It's in the definition, it's in the slogan for the weird eating habits that keep within us. Basically meaning for the weirdest and oddest eating habits that pleasure us. Like, for example, pregnant women with their pickles and mayonnaise. Okay. Um, us with our weird food combinations, and I'm sure, Cracadonna says Cracadonna has weird food combinations too. People that like to mix unordinary things to suit their palates and to suit their taste buds, okay? Because it is what they think satisfies their cravings. So let me make sure. Let's go ahead and get a confirmation. Go ahead, Reason.
All right. Over the years, the occasional commented on my eating habits. I find this annoying, especially when if I frequently eat with someone who won't let it go. It is like having a play-by-play announcer at the table calling the action. You eat too fast. You don't like the foods on your plate to touch, do you? You only eat the one thing at a time, don't you? The commentary makes me feel like I must apologize for how I eat and making eating an unpleasant experience. At 58 years old, I eat the way I eat and don't care what anyone thinks about. But that attitude does not shield me from the annoyance of the commentary. Eating habits are like fingerprints. Everyone has them, and they're unique to the individual, but unlike fingerprints, eating habits develop over time. My first memory of an activity that would develop an eating habit comes from hanging out in the bar of my father. He would take me to a bar near Shepherdsville, Kentucky, that sat on the banks of the Salt River. He called it Hoot Owl Holler. I had no idea if that was the establishment's actual name. I was 4 or 5 years old and could not read. It was there I learned the great Southern tradition of putting peanuts into my bottle of Coke. Actually, for me, it was peanuts in my bottle of Orange Crush. The mixture of the sweet soda and salty peanuts is fabulous. Pop would buy the ingredients and help me pour some of the peanuts into the bottle. I would enjoy the mixture while I had a couple of beers. These outings were a real treat, except for the times my mother caught us. Crazy woman, how could she be upset? We were men. To further demonstrate her hysterics, she also had a problem with me sitting on Pop's lap as he mowed the lawn. Looking back, any rational person should have realized that cup holders have not been invented yet. Somebody had to hold the beer, and it was hot. An occasional sip from the holder was justified. It sounds like we were both drunks, but these were the limits of Pop's drinking. But I stopped drinking by first grade. That's crazy.
So let me go ahead and stop you there for a minute. So basically, it means Foodamixaphobia basically means that only one person will. There are people that do not are very very foodophobic. Are very very. They will not mix anything. They will eat one thing at a time. They do not want anything mixed with anything. Okay. If they see one thing mixed with another, they will not eat it. They will not eat that off that plate. They will either send it back or push the plate back. I don't want to eat this. Why not? Because it's mixed with this and I don't like that.
So, like, what does that mean? Like, you give them a steak and you put mushrooms on it or something like that, and that freaks them out?
Yeah, pretty much. So it basically means that, let's say, okay, let's take the, let's take little kids, and we're gonna kind of talk about this here because so this actually does happen at a very young age. Okay, um, little kids are a great example. Toddlers,
Yeah, because they're very picky.
they're very picky. So it basically does coincide to picky eating because if you put barbecue sauce with a piece, if you put barbecue sauce with a whipped cream from pumpkin pie, if you put like ribs or brisket with pumpkin pie, and if one touches the other, that person won't eat it.
That's crazy.
They will not touch that. That's why it's called Foodamixaphobia, because you have a phobia of food being mixed with other food. Okay, some people have to have their food groups separate. Okay, or they will not eat it. Okay, and that is actually a real thing. Okay, like it's basically going back to again. It grosses a person out when they sit across from you and you end up eating something like you're basically the one that says, "Oh, it's no big deal," and then the other person's like, "You're gross." No, don't do that. It gives
Right?
them it scars them for life. What do you think? What do you think that article says?
I I think like I can kind of get where some people are going, but it's also like pretty crazy because it's like you just live your life in fear of other foods being mixed with other foods,
Hmm.
and it's not just that it bothers you in particular. If someone else does it, you immediately just go, "I'm not eating."
Exactly.
You could
Exactly.
look across the table to the people over across there, and you take a look at their plate, and there's something on it. You immediately lose your appetite. They don't even have to be involved. That's how bad this is. This is how bad it sounds.
Hmm. Yes. All right. Go ahead and read a little bit more.
All right. Um, Scroll down. There we go. The second habit I remember first developing was eating fast. It grew out of a necessity. I was not allowed to play after dinner until I cleaned my plate. I had no idea how habits of not allowing foods on my plate to touch. Scroll down. And eating one thing at a time developed, but an exhaustive internet search helped. See, that's what I find kind of crazy. It's like literally you only eat one dish at a time.
Yeah. So that is one reason why they invented the lunch trays, and that is one reason why they invented the plates with the separated um,
Because I've always been a person that tries to eat everything else in moderation, but I've never been seen the person that's like, I have to eat the corn first, or my whole meal is ruined.
pretty much. So that's why they invented separators on plates and trays because everything goes in its own place, but also it's because it suits people's um, OCD when it comes to
Right?
eating. How's our chat looking?
Only person in the chat right now is Crackadonna. And he only
Okay.
says sup, Leonard.
Oh, okay. Back it up. Oh, okay. Thank you. Um. So yeah. So all right. Keep reading. Go on.
Um, I had no idea, blah blah blah. But it was an exhaustive internet search. Not wanting your food to touch, termed by bromatachyphobia, is a mild form of obsessive compulsive disorder (OCD). The practice
Mhm.
is said to develop during childhood. Small children are not allowed to select the most foods they eat, so they adapt by controlling the positions of the food on their plates. Note,
Mhm.
based on this information, it should be evident to anyone that if a child is developing bromatachyphobia, hiding peas and other undesirable foods under mashed potatoes can lead to extensive therapy later in life. Eating one item at a time also gives the eater control. The order of selection can move up to the least favorite foods to the most favorite food. This method can get an unpleasant part of a meal out of the way quickly. I was once a meter reader and followed a schedule that always landed me on a particular customer's home at a dinner hour. The meter was there unusually, and it was always in their house. They were a lovely old couple and always invited me to stay for dinner. And I couldn't. But even if I could, I wouldn't have. I arrived during dinner a few times and noticed the gentleman typically loaded his plate and then stirred everything together in one big pile. I would have a seizure halfway through the meal. I have a few eating habits that are noticeable but not uncommon. There are many more I don't have, for example, never drinking during a meal, only drinking with a meal, and never between meals, disliking certain foods based on their texture or color, and not wanting to eat from another person's plate or they from they from yours. Oh, that is another for me. Trying to eat from my plate is an excellent way to lose a few fingers. Eating habits is a long topic, and allotted numbers is almost spent. We have to revisit eating habits in a future installment. By the way, I cannot find a name for eating one thing at a time. I'm sure there is. For now, I'll call it foodamixaphobia.
Yes. So that's basically it. That's basically sums up what we were talking about. So how do I exit this? It's the light blue thing, right?
Yeah, the light blue thing where it says stop sharing.
Okay. So what do you think, Lisa?
I think that's crazy.
That is actually a thing, and I was actually correct, right?
Yes,
Yes. Yeah, because this all starts at childhood. Okay. Um, and actually it does some people actually are very that's why kids that's why they're given so much space. That's why kids usually I will say this, some kids do because they don't really know how to eat completely, like properly. They do
right,
not mind. They do not mind spilling their milk or their juice onto the through the high chair tray, and they don't mind basically mixing their baby food or their baby food with their juice, and that's how they.
right.
Mhm. But unfortunately it does gross some people out when they do that. Okay, that's just the reality of things. Is that's what grosses people out.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So now
Oh,
you know.
you got to change the layout to show us.
Oh, excuse me.
Well, you're just looking at an empty screen. They're like, oh, where are we? We're ghosts.
We're ghosted.
We're being ghosted.
Excuse me. Let's see.
Excuse me, princess. Oh, look, I'm the small one. You're the dominant one.
Lisa!
My gosh.
Yeah, say
I'm
that in
gonna
public.
stop with the assaults.
Like I said.
Like I say.
But yes, yeah, so Foodamixaphobia is actually a thing. And it actually does, but it does lead into what we were talking about maybe a few years ago when we were talking about picky eaters. This actually is a precursor of picky eaters. Okay,
The only
people that
food I would say that gives me that feeling of like being afraid of it is like when I go to a Mexican restaurant, I specifically ask them to have no guacamole because I've been scarred from guacamole because of Taco Bell. And if they accidentally forget the guacamole and some of it ends up on the other foods, I just kind of try to avoid the pieces where the guacamole is. That's like the only thing I actually have that kind of like thing.
so I can't, so I wouldn't be able to make you guacamole.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of guacamole. Not after that Taco Bell incident with the triple XXL burrito. I got food poisoning that day with my dad, and we were in this semi truck when I was with him. And
Yeah.
yeah, my dad had to get a taxi, and I had to go to ER to get IV fluids.
Okay, man.
Yes,
What do
yeah.
you do?
Yeah. So I'm sorry, I don't like guacamole.
Well, too bad. I'm gonna make you. I'm gonna change that.
Oh,
No, you won't get sick with the food I make. I'll make sure of it. But yeah, but you know what? Kind of going to what kind of want to talk to you about personal stories. You're not the only person that hates hates avocado. Okay, my lead is avocado. Okay, you will really, yeah, if you see one, if you even see a piece of avocado on the plate, or else somebody else with the food.
oh wow.
Mhm. Yeah, because he's not a big fan. He doesn't like avocado. And he can't have cheese, like he can't have shredded cheese. Because he will bad to his meat shredded cheese. He'll eat the nacho cheese, the cheese sauce, but he just won't eat the shredded cheese.
Oh wow.
Hmm. Yeah. We also have people that don't like mayonnaise. Mayonnaise. Michael's one of them. He doesn't like mayonnaise. He doesn't like mayonnaise. He doesn't like anything creamy. He doesn't like
You know
cheese.
what's funny? I what is it? I remember I wasn't a big fan of tartar
Everything.
sauce
Hmm.
until I tried a filet of fish from McDonald's. And I was like, oh, this is not bad.
Yeah, I used to not like vegetables. I used to hate, I used to despise vegetables. Um, but now I
Yeah,
have
as
a
a kid, I
plan.
didn't like broccoli, but now it's like, dude, steam me up some steamed broccoli. I love that shit. And put some salt and pepper on that bitch. Maybe even put some shredded cheese on that shit. Fuck yeah.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Hell, I'm one of the people that loves Brussels sprouts.
You like Brussels sprouts too?
Yes, I love Brussels
I
sprouts. You love
I
Brussels sprouts?
dude, thanks, Stevie. Brussels sprouts cooked in bacon fat.
Dude, the best thing okay, when I go to Longhorn Steakhouse and whenever I feel like getting a steak,
Mhm.
usually I'll either get like a New York strip steak or I'll probably get like a filet mignon. Dude, I'll
Mhm.
get their crispy honey, their crispy honey Brussels sprouts, and I swear to God, it's the best things ever.
Wow.
That shit is so fucking good.
We
Best
got
thing
two
ever.
people in this. We got two. Oh, we had two now, not one. But yeah. So yeah. So basically, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of people are just very anal when it comes to their foods. Okay, if one food touches the other, they will have a heart attack. So you just gotta be mindful of your friends and your guests. Um, you always want to make sure, and I know I'm guilty of this. Some of us are guilty of this. You never unless if you know the person, you never want to serve your guests. Never. Because the reason is because is you don't know what their food or dietary needs or food preferences are like. Okay, so you
Yeah,
always want
because
to.
it would just be better for you if you're gonna serve your guests. You should let them know ahead of time. Hey, I was thinking about making this. What do you think? And then they give their input and be like, no, I prefer this. And like, okay, maybe we can make a compromise and we can make this. You know what I mean? Because it's kind of like it's like going to a friend's house, right? And you eat dinner with your friend's family, right?
Yeah,
And you kind of have to deal with what they make, right?
yeah,
It's like when you cook for a guest, like for example, like when me last year when me and Lennon for my birthday one, we talked about okay, what are we gonna cook? Well, yeah, well I want to do spaghetti. Let's do spaghetti with
and the
fettuccine
salad. Yeah,
and the
yeah.
salad, and spaghetti fettuccine. Okay, cool. That way, we're both on the same page and go, okay, now I understand what we're gonna make, and I don't go there and goes, oh, I'm gonna make lasagna instead. Wait, what? I thought you were gonna make spaghetti. Nah, I'm gonna make something else. You know what I mean? It's it's well, fuck you, getting Big Macs, getting Big Macs. Yeah,
But you
but it's like it's always be considerate of your guests, especially if you don't know them that well, because like you never know if they have food allergies or they have phobias like that or they're
know,
allergic to stuff. You know what I mean? Last thing you need to do is be put in prison for killing somebody with seafood allergies.
yeah. So it's basically something that to consider. So it's this is some part of food etiquette. Okay, is that you never want to serve your guests unless you really know them well.
Because like if you're gonna get your food, if you're gonna get food for your guests, I think it'd be easier to be like, hey, do you want to get some fast food? What do you want to get? Do you want pizza? Do you want a burger? Do you want Italian? What do you want? You know what I mean? That's
You,
easier
you,
so you can pick and they can
or you want
customize their meals.
or you or you want what you are. You want to eat what you are.
You are what you eat, so might as well get over it. I don't want Whataburger. I want In-N-Out.
Yeah.
Well, if you come to the special room here, you'll get special In-N-Out.
Okay.
In-N-Out!
So so we looked at the first one, okay, which was Foodamixaphobia. So we're gonna go ahead and exit out of that. All right, now make sure that that goes away. Okay, now we have I think it's 21. I don't know, but we'll look at this again. Okay, so now we're gonna look at share screen. What happened? What did it do? Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. That's not what I wanted. I don't know why I clicked the wrong thing. How do I exit this? Exit, right
Hey,
there.
what's up, Chayton? We call this jabronis. You hear that little mini twilight? That's right. Oh, hey, toilet paper man.
No, the toilet paper man is dumb. Yes, oops, I clicked on the wrong thing. Come on, it's supposed to be Tuesday.
Tell him 29.
Boom, 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 boom. Destination spirit sounds. Boom, 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 boom.
29, no banging on the desk.
He's practicing. Leave him alone.
Tell him 29. Tell him.
Oh, yeah, what are you gonna tell me? Nothing.
She's been telling you.
Oh yeah. All right. So we're gonna look at this one. No, the top one. There we go. Perfect. So there we're gonna share the screen. Hello, toilet paper man. Hello, Mr. Chayton.
The granny say hello.
The granny say hello. All right. So
All right. These are the people's most weirdest food combinations.
hold on. This thing is being very slow at loading here. Give it a second while the hourglass goes down. Okay. Alright, so let's make sure that we are in the right layout here. We want it to go to, which one was it? It was this one, right?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, alright.
All
Okay, so
right. It says, so scroll up just a little bit.
we're at the orange one. Okay, hold on. Yes.
Toilet paper man says, no worry. I and the Grammys is con today. I is only nodding in bed with the Grammys. We've all had these moments, haven't we, where we didn't realize the little food quirk you actually had was really bizarre until way later than you should have. Well, at virtual college, we decided to find out what are the most common, weirdest food habits in the UK and shed light on how bizarre, in some cases, and completely unhygienic they actually are. 20% of Brits put milk in tea before the water, which is apparently the correct way to do it. Well, the most British people, 79%, make their cuppa in a scent order of a mug, tea bag, hot water, and milk. Remove the tea bag, drink and enjoy. Assuredly predictable and delicious in equal measure. So we're willing to bet that everyone swears by this routine, and will be shocked to know that in one five British tea drinkers put their milk in before the hot water. All right,
Yeah.
scroll down. Yes, that's right. And if it wasn't shocking enough, one of the scientists highlights that putting milk in before the hot water is actually the correct way to make a brew. Loughborough University Dr. Stately's somewhat bold claim is all down to the milk heating unevenly when poured into the hot tea. When milk heats unevenly, it makes the proteins denature. This is not only causes the milk to lose its flavor, but also is the culprit for sticky skin and floaties that can form on the top of the cuppa. Putting milk in first also helps counteract hard water, an issue that plagues more than half of Britons. A generalization thing, perhaps. It seems the older the Brits are, the more likely they are to add milk first, with 32% of those aged 65 and over opting for the flagrant method, followed by 24% of 50 to 64-year-olds, 15% of 25 and 49-year-olds, and only 4% of 18 and 24-year-olds.
Hmm.
Scroll down. All right, keep scrolling. Almost a quarter of Brits reuse our tea bags for a brew at another time. Keeping on the tea theme, 23% of Brits admit to reusing tea bags at least sometimes. We're not just talking about one bag for 2 cups. We're talking about reusing on a completely separate occasion. This can actually be pretty gross, particularly if you're not storing your used tea bag scroll down, in a moist medium, as you're essentially leaving the gates wide open for hygiene issues. Once the tea bag gets dried out, it becomes a breeding ground for mold and bacteria. So if you still want to keep this pretty unhygienic habit for sustainable reasons, your best bet is to store them in a small shot glass filled with water.
Ew.
Yeah, that's nasty. Oh, we got Bio in the chat.
Oh, hey, Bio. How are you?
Hello there. All right, so that's I don't we don't drink tea over here in America. We drink beer and I don't know.
We drink beer
Watch
and babes.
TikTok. We eat our In and Out, and we have our Ford F-150s. We do burnouts in the parking lot while shooting our our M14s or whatever the fuck we have. We're patriotic. We drink our coffee in the morning. Sometimes we throw our coffees at the baristas when they make it wrong. Sometimes we drop the coffee on our laps and then get millions of dollars from a lawsuit from a fast food company.
Mm-hmm. I guess this is a good. I guess this is a good thing to. I guess this is pretty much. But this is kind of like another thing about Foodamixaphobia. So it is pretty odd. Let me go ahead and put us back to normality here. Who wants to join the party?
I know Twilight wants to join. Oh, sweetie. Ooh, we're big now.
Yes.
No hitting. No hitting, Twilight.
So that's basically another odd thing about food. Okay. Now, our last one. Okay, because we already did the orange thing. Now our last thing.
Hello, Bio.
Okay. Yes, Bio. How are you doing, my good sir? Um. Now our last one is pretty interesting. Okay, because it's talking about famous people.
Oh, I think I already know where this is gonna go. We're gonna be reading famous people's crazy freaking food combinations.
There's my food combination. That's crazy.
I swear, if I see Kanye on that list, I'm gonna crash out. Kanye be putting mustard on his freaking. Oh, oh, it's one of those.
What?
It's one of those where you have to subscribe. You either start a free day trial or you subscribe.
Oh boy.
There's
Oh,
no way to get off of it. It's starting a free day trial.
boo. I think I was having issues with this one. But
Yeah,
I'm sure there's plenty of famous people out there that do that. So we can go ahead and stop there. We can
yeah,
go ahead and stop again.
yeah.
People.
Freaking, I hate when they do that. Articles do that. Oh, you need to pay a subscription to see it, or you can start a free day trial. Fuck, I will.
Mm-hmm. All right, come on. No. I want to exit out of this. No. No. Oh my goodness. No. No. Oh my goodness.
What's going on?
Ah, it keeps going back down to the. Oh, it exited. Good. It kept on going
You
back down to
went-
the screen. Okay, so one thing I want to talk to you guys about is that McDonald's ended up closing some stores. Okay.
McDonald's?
hmm
No surprise, they're fucking expensive as shit.
Uh, some places aren't doing well. Starbucks has officially integrated a new dress code, and all employees around the in a part of the entire Starbucks chain has to wear a specific uniform every day, and some weren't happy about it.
If they start wearing the uniforms the internet likes to fantasize about, I'd be going to Starbucks every fucking day, I'll tell you that.
uh,
You know exactly what apparel I'm talking about.
but yeah, that's basically it. So Foodamixaphobia is actually a thing, guys. I have some news to tell y'all. Okay, this will probably be my last show as host. But don't worry, I'm not. I'm not gonna end this program. I'm just gonna take a little break. Starting next month, all the way to September, we will have co-host takeover, which means that people who hosted this show will get a chance to take over the show. And I'm actually waiting, and this break might actually last through 2026. Because well, we have one more. We're gonna come back for one more special in July. Okay, so there will be a co-host takeover, and then there will be a special in July as we celebrate 5 years of our foodcast. 5 years of our foodcast. Okay,
Hell yeah.
um, 5 years. So that's gonna be a memorable show. I will try to get the original crew back together. Um, it will be me, Mason, Brian, and Christian. Or no, I'm sorry. Sorry, Brian. It'll be uh, me, Mason, Christian, Brian, and Albert.
Right?
Mhm. Because this was my original team. We also had Black Hawk Warrior, so remember that. But can't really find him because I think he actually did disappear from the social media world. But and actually, I'm not going to be the only person that will be celebrating 5 years. Hopefully, my co-host here
Oh
decides what he
yeah.
wants to do. Make sure you catch TME on his next show.
Right.
Make sure you catch my show. Okay. And yeah. So we will have co-host takeovers starting in June to September. And then I want to start something new here. I want to start doing viewer or subscriber takeover show. Okay. It's like co-host takeover, but it's the subscriber will be the host of the show.
Right.
So something cool and exciting to see. I want to thank those who have subscribed to my channel. They have brought me up to numerous subscribers. I do want to give a shout out to Crocodile and Faded Bones, okay, for you know helping my channel grow. And especially you guys. those for subscribing to the channel. Ooh, we have 3 people in here. Who else been here?
Bio's in the chat. Toilet Paper Man's in the chat.
Yeah, you guys. Any remarks, Mason?
Dude, I think that phobia is all crazy, to be honest. I
Yeah.
don't kind of hell would be trying to cook for someone like that.
I'm gonna prank you.
Motherfucker.
Oh yeah. What? Yeah. With that being said, you guys, thank you so much for joining today's stream. Make sure you subscribe, like, tap the bell, select the word once you notified when to go live or post a new video. And make sure you subscribe to Mr. Bird Mason too. Check out his channel and his podcast, TME, The Mason Effect, monthly.
Yeah. See you guys next time.
Alrighty, everybody. You guys have a great day. Bye bye, everybody.
Bye bye.
Foodamixaphobia.